All right, so I'm not sure there's much to Nvidia other than, where do they set guidance? I mean, they've been doing the same thing every quarter very consistently. Stock has risen a bit into the quarter. Write-off is not a... Yeah, exactly, Anthony. I think that most of these stocks are valued effectively, but I think for Nvidia, kind of what's going to happen is you have the bigger hyperscalers or like AI companies. They need more chips. You can see this from Anthropic went down last night. They're or Claude, I should say, and they are limiting how many messages you can make. I've noticed maybe some quality fallbacks for both the other competitors they have, possibly due to less thinking in the models or something like that. I don't know. So your huge companies, I named I guess XAI, OpenAI, Anthropic's not a huge company, but they have huge demand for chips at least. And certainly Microsoft, Google, Amazon, CoreWeave, Meta, Oracle, these guys are they're spending so much. Zuck said he's going to spend more than he thought, not less. A lot of people thought he was going to spend less. I'm not a big alignment fan. I don't think we need to align models. So I think Nvidia might beat by a little more and raise a little more than normal. So I'm kind of bullish. Let me do a little more work here. Hold on. I want to see what earnings profile kind of looks like. Okay, they're looking at 438. We got 468 for the year. Then next year, the street's at 560. We're at 7. Probably a little unrealistic there. My last take on this model is about 50 billion higher than where the street's at. The street's at 250. 250 billion for next year. But I don't worry about where the street's at if I have a lot of conviction on where I'm at. In this case, I don't. But let's say they do my number of $7. I mean, you're talking about 19 times earnings for a really fast grower. That's cheap. I hate to say it, that's cheap. It's probably going to be a $10 billion company, $10 trillion company. I said 2 years ago, Nvidia is the first $10 trillion company. 2 years ago. It was around 500 billion then. Yeah, Google's same value. Well, Google's a better valuation, but Google's not growing much. Yeah, that does work, Dusty. I don't see how CoreWeave makes it out, man. They really are true believers. They don't want to raise equity. If I were them, just delever. Why subject your business to the risk of bankruptcy for no reason? Why? Just use equity. Got an expensive stock. Correct, Anthony. I don't think it matters much. You think so, William? Have you tried the latest Claude 4? It's fucking good. No, I'm not trolling. AI is going to basically run our economy. I think they could do 500 billion in earnings. 20 times that's 10 trillion. It's already 3 trillion. It's not like it's a... Sorry, Justin. I'll accept. I just get a lot of the requests. If you're maybe are you a student? I don't mind you asking me anything, Anthony, as long as you're polite. Yeah, I don't think alignment's a real issue. The machines aren't that smart yet, and they don't have will or volition. They're just document predictors. At some point, we might have to worry about that, but today's not the day. All right, nobody cares what you think, Cypher. I love this guy. I say I like Nvidia as long. He's like, it's a terrible long. Bro, nobody's here for your opinion. If you started a YouTube channel, 3 people would watch. Not even your mom would watch. Your mom would be like, this shit's boring. I want to watch Shkreli. At least he's cute. Nobody's ever cycling off Nvidia GPUs, my man. I'm pretty famous. Yeah. You got a fucking anime profile. On my other account. You wouldn't know this girl. She doesn't go to our school. I have a girlfriend for real. For real, I do. I love your first level of thinking of analysis. It's all built on Taiwan Semi, so Taiwan Semi's gotta have the value. It's a supply chain. I figured it out. There's a supply chain. I can follow the supply chain. I never heard of a supply chain before. Now I know what a supply chain is. 10,000 followers. And nobody gives a fuck about you. Yeah, you don't have an argument is my point, dude. It's like you heard about fabs for the first time in your life, and you're like, well, the fab's gonna make all the money. Nvidia doesn't have a moat. CUDA, people just use AMD. Dude, I don't know if you know people who actually run these boxes, but Trainium and this other shit, nobody's using it. You're reading press releases from companies that are years behind, and you're thinking, oh, this is going to be good. But you don't know what the fuck's going on. Talk to people who are actually running large scale GPU clusters. No one's ever going to use Rockham. Yeah, I'm sure you do. I'm sure you're more plugged in than me. Everyone's going to switch from CUDA to Rockham. You're right. I see that. People are just waiting to do that. They're so excited. The fuck are you talking about? You're a special kind of idiot. AMD has a great reputation in the AI community. You're right. It's all over. AMD's just around the corner. Man, when AMD comes out with their next whatever the fuck they call it chip, I know everyone's going to buy it. Just wait. George Hotz is totally going to fix it. I love you, George. It's not that I don't like AMD. It's just that they're never catching up in AI, man. Never say never, but they TSM doesn't get the margins. It's not about being a trash company or either. It's about valuation. You don't even understand what value is. It's a trash company. No, they're not. None of these are trash companies, you idiot. These are the greatest companies on planet Earth. Why would you think value will accrue to the fab? The IP is literally the chip. I want to buy the factory. Why would I buy the valuable product being made when I go buy the factory? Maybe you should get an MBA in your spare time. I want to buy the contract manufacturer. That's usually the best place to buy. Soon I'll buy sand. Sand is even better. Sand makes the chip. I don't have an investment in Lambda, but it's a great company. I know them very well. I'm a customer. Listen, man, if there's any business that can get squashed over time, it's contract manufacturing. That's the business where traditionally margins go to zero. You know, cutting edge contract manufacturing is very valuable, but it's the product that carries the value in the long run, not the fucking manufacturer. Everyone expects Nvidia to have good earnings, yes, but you have to look at the valuation. Oh Lord, this guy's so fucking dumb, man. Who is A-Lab? A-Lab? Is that A-L-A-B? Astera? Small cap? I thought you were talking about TSM. We can look at small caps. But that's not ASM. TSM. ASM is different. Okay, great. Wonderful stock pick, but we're not talking about a third company. We're talking about Taiwan Semi. He spent a lot of time talking about why Taiwan Semi is a better long than Nvidia, and now he's pivoting to some other company. He's right. By the fabs. The fabs have the fabs have all the IP. It's not the chip designer. It's the fabs. Yeah, both can be good investments too, by the way. But last I look at Taiwan Semi, it's my computer's a little. I have so many models and files. It's sometimes hard to fix them all up. Let's see here. Yeah, Taiwan Semi's not growing very fast. I mean, a few quarters ago, they had negative growth. And the gross margins are pretty low. They're in the 50s. So it's pretty fundamentally different kinds of companies. One's a contract manufacturer. And one's the greatest company on planet Earth. Nvidia had growth in the triple digits. Cypher, you think I'm down 48% year to date? Oh man. Right now it's 50. Did you miss Q4? You must have missed Q4. You can't just take my L and not give me my W. That's not fair. That's not intellectually honest. I am the authority. You are the nobody. Never forget it. Uh, it's on GitHub for free, Ion. So anyway, I like AMD, I like TSM, and I like Nvidia, but I like Nvidia the most. Taiwan Semi is bogged down by all the other businesses, all the other business they have to do. That's extremely low margin. Nvidia gets most of the value of these chips, obviously. Yeah, you can't take my year-to-date performance and not credit me last year's. If you do that, you're getting smoked. I'm not. I could never be put in rage by some retard on YouTube. I guess I don't like stupidity. Stupidity can annoy me, but the person themselves, I mean. I'm on a 4090. I mean, it doesn't take an advanced brain to say, okay, Martin's down a little bit right now, or a lot, but what was he up before? Is the demarcation line annual? Did I beat his last year's performance? Could he come back from this drawdown? It just takes a little bit of thinking. That's all I ask. You can disagree with me, but just try to be somewhat thoughtful. Is it that hard? Can it be that hard? I wish SME. They're not going to take my call. They're busy with big investment banks like Goldman Sachs. Why would they take my call? They shouldn't take my call. Yeah, no, that could be an Nvidia bear thesis. Amazon's not a big customer anyway. They're an also ran in AI. The big question is, yeah, can Apple, can Microsoft slash OpenAI all transition? And the answer is no. But you know, your profile picture is kind of gay. You should change it. What are you, a child? You like cartoons? More anime.